Mermaid here, and welcome back to my channel where I bring you mermaid related content to help you live your life so mermaid. And today I am going to be doing a wee review of this bad boy. It's the new FinFun Advanced Monofin Pro. Okay, so there's a reason behind this, because I know I'm a tail maker. That's why I'm not reviewing a full tail skin of theirs. I'm just reviewing the monofin. I sent them an email and I was like, look, I recommend your guys' product all up and down everywhere based on the recommendations of other mermaids that I trust very much. But it would make me feel a whole lot better if I could actually see one of your products up close and actually swim with it, so that I could stand behind my recommendation for beginner mermaids and mermaids kind of with their first experience in mermaiding. So they very kindly sent me this in the mail. So huge shout out, FinFun, thank you so much for sending this my way so I could do a review. So I'm gonna give you the rundown. I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. I'm gonna give you guys a close up as well and compare this to the other monofins. I have a stack sitting on the floor. We got the Mahina, we got the Linden, we got the Mertailer, we got the Luna, we got them all. So we're gonna check that out after I give you some information. So we'll start off with size. This is sort of their teen adult monofin. I take it. It was an excruciatingly snug fit. Now, let me qualify here. Okay, I have size 11 US women's feet. This almost, I actually had to pull on the stitching a little bit, so some of the stitching did tear just a little bit. But the distance between my heel and the top of my arch is wider than this actually goes, so I had a really hard time getting my feet into it. Now, getting them out when my feet are wet was easier, but still not as easy as it would have been. So just be aware, if you do have larger feet, safety-wise and comfort-wise, this might not be the best option. If they ever did do a large foot version of their monofin, I would be down. I would be like, yeah, you know what? I could add that to my collection for sure. This was very comfortable. I'd say what was interesting in a good and a not so good kind of way, it's now sewn down the middle, right here. So you can no longer take the plastic insert out, which is fine because it creates extra stability, which I actually really liked. I liked that my feet weren't like doing things in there, you know what I mean? Like it felt more stable. My feet weren't pulling up away from the plastic. But transportation is a thing. So the way I roll, I like to take my monofin out of my mermaid tail, put my mermaid tail in a watertight bag, and then just dry off my monofin and carry it home. So the problem with this is I had to bring an extra like large bag to bring this home, and it took quite a while to dry. I was a little surprised, but that's like a small thing. I don't feel like that's a huge deal, but it did impact my ability to be like compact, you know what I mean? I don't like to have a lot of extra bags and a lot of extra stuff. I like my one wheeling cart and everything is in there, and that's that. So that's the only thing that I was like, oh, that's a bit of a bummer, but at the same time, like, I understand why they did this. You know what? You do need that extra stability, and having that feeling that your feet aren't flip-flopping off the plastic all the time, that's nice. That's really nice. There's also a really cool like matting on the inside. I don't know how well that can show up, but there's the plastic on here, and then there's like a little rubber squishy. I don't know if their other monofins had that, but it's really nice and it feels quite cool under your feet. It's like a soft, like it's not a rubber, but or is it? It's kind of hard to tell because it's slippery, but it's smooth. Anyways, it's padding on the plastic insert. Now, I will say, they know that they have an unfinished edge here, and obviously this is neoprene with, it looks like a spandex that's got the printing on it, because you know you can't actually print directly onto neoprene. You'll melt it, basically. So that's why there's like the two pieces attached together. Looks great, and I really like that they took a little attention to detail here, guys. But look, they have it reinforced. right here. There's little reinforced stitching there and on the other side. And it's nicely done too. It's like right in the crease, and it's like quadruple stitched, my dudes. It is in there. It's not going anywhere. It's awesome. So I did notice it has a really strong like rubber smell, and that's from these rubber tips. It's like a rubberized material of some kind. It feels kind of similar to the stuff on the inside, but I don't think it's the same stuff. It does have a really powerful rubber tire smell, so I hope that kind of dissipates with time. I imagine that it will, like the more times I take it to the pool and that kind of good thing. But look how nicely that's done too. That's really nicely done and reinforced again. This is the kind of thing that you want to look for when you're dealing with monofins and such. Monofins with sharp pointing edges, they eat mermaid tails. They just do. Like, I've got 2-3 mermaid tails out there that I used with my Aquarius, and I liked the Aquarius. It was a really great beginner fin. I think that FinFun has come out with better products since then. But it's just a thing you have to take into consideration, like how much do you love your mermaid tail and how careful are you going to be, because it'll just poke right through. This, on the other hand, is a nice rounded edge, and it's reinforced to protect not only the monofin but your tail skin as well, so that's kind of clever. Overall, I think the pattern, super pretty. It's like this blue, waving, like ocean prettiness. I think that's really nice. I kind of like the style that they went for with this one. This is another one of those, like I said with the Linden in my Linden review, and if you haven't checked that one, I will link that up in the cards as well. But it's sort of like a sporty kind of feel. You know, a lot of mermaids like the sort of ethereal, floating, you know, Kingdom of Atlantis kind of shtick. But there are some mermaids who like it a little bit more, you know, comfortable, a little bit more sporty, a little bit more athletic, and I feel like they hit the nail on the head, spot on with this. I feel like this has that nice sporty look. The logo is kind of sporty. It's very appealing. For me anyways, I just feel like that's just really professional looking. It's really nice. Feet go in, feet go out. In terms of actually swimming in it, it was weird. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this is the first FinFun I've ever been in, didn't know what to expect, and it's so strange. Not in a bad way, just in like a different way. The level of propulsion is different. How you achieve that propulsion is different. It's a lot more forgiving than other monofins, so I still stand by this being a good beginner monofin, just because I feel like even just like flicking my feet gives me a little bit of power. And I don't mean like hardcore power, like this is not gonna compare to the Linden. The Linden is still the fastest in my opinion. But it's a lot more forgiving. So if you don't have your mermaid roll, your mermaid, you know, swim all the way through your core and everything, if you haven't got that figured out yet, it's not gonna impact you quite as much in this fin. I feel like, you know, Mermaid Kim and I were kind of talking about that. It's definitely a more forgiving monofin in that sense. It floats, like it's floaty. Oh, it's so floaty. You can feel it floating a little bit, and I'm sure that's the neoprene. I'm not sure the plastic, if it's also a thing, but it's very floaty. Like it, while you're swimming, your feet just naturally kind of do this in it. It's kind of trippy. That wasn't a negative thing either. It was just something that I noticed. Overall, I felt like my experience was good. I feel like it would be a solid beginner experience you could have with this fin. You know, if you've never done the mermaid thing before, and you're like, well, I kind of want to dip my toes into the ocean that is the mermaid lifestyle, this would be a good place to start. Sometimes the larger monofins can be a bit intimidating. They can be a bit like overpowering. And if you don't really know what to expect, or you don't know how to get the most out of your monofin, it can be maybe frustrating a little bit. And I just feel like that wasn't the case with this one, especially because I felt like a beginner again, not ever having tried it before. It was a little bit of experimenting, swimming around, flowing, trying to find my groove, but it wasn't as challenging as I thought it was gonna. Honestly, I thought it was gonna be a bit more challenging for me, just because I'm so used to the Luna, and the Luna is a totally different experience than this fin. You know what I mean? Now that being said, for me personally, this wouldn't be the fin that I switch to because I've been mermaiding since 2006 and I've done the kind of beginner, intermediate, advanced shtick, and I'm at the Luna stage now, and the Luna is my baby and I absolutely love it. And if you haven't heard my big spiel on the Luna, I'll leave a link up in the cards for you guys to check out my sort of Luna review type thing. But definitely this is a solid mermaid experience, I would say. I would say you're looking for an affordable mermaid tail, you're looking for a beginner mermaid tail, you know, you don't want to make that huge, monstrous investment just yet. It's so funny, right? People are like, oh, but you make mermaid tails. Like, how could you refer to somebody else? It's because I want people to have that good experience for their very first time. Like, if you don't know that you're gonna be really into mermaiding, mermaid tail, like mermaiding, guys, is an expensive hobby. It's an expensive hobby, okay? It just is. Your monofin's gonna cost you money, your tail skins are gonna cost you money, there's all, you know, pool time's gonna cost you money, everything adds up, repairs, costuming, accessories, it's a whole thing. So to have a starter experience that's really solid, I feel like that's a good thing to recommend. And I feel like FinFun, I was so like insanely impressed with the documentation that they included. They included information swimming, like safety. Like, that's why I love this company, you know what I mean? Like, cause we're on the same wavelength, you know what I'm saying? Like, I preach safety out the wazoo and these guys do the same. They put out the informational videos and the pamphlets and the brochures and the things and the information with their fins. It's so important. Safety, 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 safety. Okay, it's a thing. But yeah, overall, I am impressed with this monofin. I don't think I'll make a tail skin for it because it's not sort of in the cards for me. This isn't something that I'm gonna add to my roster of monofins that I make tail skins for or anything. What I wanted was to be able to see it up close, to actually look at it and say, yes, this is a product I can recommend and feel comfortable knowing that my pod members are gonna have a good experience in it. You know what I'm saying? You guys matter to me. Okay, so now I'm gonna give you guys a close-up look at the monofin and show you what it looks like in comparison to some of the other big players out there. All right, so here's this bad boy up close and personal. You'll have to forgive, it was sitting in amongst all of my other monofins, so the poor thing got a little bit smushed. But here you can see some nice stitching. There's that reinforced section I was telling you guys about. It's like quadruple stitched, it's crazy. The stitching down the front, 1 foot here, 1 foot there, obviously. Here's the foot pockets. You can see on the inside that like gray squishy stuff I was telling you about. And that's what that looks like there. And then what I didn't notice, again, it was sitting up against all my other monofins, my poor baby, is this stitching is obviously reinforced a second time. Like here it's reinforced and there is actually a piece on the inside right here. And that's what the blade actually looks like with little lines down the middle here. And that's the logo there, the Advanced Monofin Pro. And I really love that pattern. I think it's really, really appealing. Very nice. Okay, so here is the Mahina. I swear, the world's hugest monofin ever. And here is what you're looking at. We can line those foot pockets up. This is the comparison. So you can see this is a much smaller monofin. It has its own really unique shape in comparison to the other monofins I'm gonna show you. But you can see that a monofin that works for one tail skin is not a monofin that's gonna work for both. So something to keep in mind. All right, next up we have one of my new favorites, the Mermaid Linden. And now I have heard, okay, through the grapevine that, was it the Mermaid Seamstress who actually posted it? Okay, look, if I can find the video, I will include it. If I can't, I apologize. If it was your video, please leave it in the comments so I know. But somebody has said that these will actually fit, that this will actually fit very tight in FinFun tail skins. If you've tried it and it hasn't worked, let me know, but you can see they are almost, look, see how it pokes out just a little bit on each side? Like that, right? So there you go, that's from the up top. So they have a similar shape. This one's definitely more sloped where the linden is more curved, but that just gives you an idea. All right, and then we have the Luna, my personal favorite monofin ever. These are two very different styles. You can see how close the feet are together here versus how far apart. This is why this monofin, I love the space that I have here. So good. But you can see there the comparison, okay? So that's there, comes down. You know what? A monofin skin that fits one's not necessarily gonna fit the other. I really feel like this is too much of a gap to say that it'll fit in both, but that gives you kind of an idea of what you're looking at size-wise. Okay. So now we have the Fantasy, the original Fantasy, because there is, of course, a new one out, and you will see that these do actually share a lot of similar flow and similar lines, okay? I don't think you're gonna be able to squeeze this into a FinFun tail, but you might be able to squeeze this one into a Fantasy pin, but you're gonna have some of the, like the overlap's not gonna be as nice. So, but you can see they do have a similar shape to them in sort of the base there. Alright guys, if you are new to my channel, please be sure to hit that subscribe button to join the pod. We would love to have you here. Don't forget to hit the bell notification as well so you don't miss any of my mermaid adventures. On this channel, I bring you mermaid related content to help you guys live your lives so mermaid. And otherwise, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please feel free to give it a big thumbs up. I look forward to seeing you all in my next video. Happy swimming! Bye! Can we appreciate how heavy the Mertailor fin is? Look at that nice blue pile. It's so good.